Welcome to another episode of Vivid Aquariums TV. I'm Dave, and today we're going to show you about mounting frags. A couple products we use. We have a reef glue accelerator from Boston Aqua Farms. We drip this onto the IC gel, which is a gel super glue. That's great for mounting lighter weight frags, small pieces. Then we have an Aquascape construction epoxy. This is a two-part epoxy. It will bond underwater. You basically break off equal portions and knead it together until it's a consistent, nice pink color. Now, let's see, we got a couple different frags we're going to mount today. First piece I'm going to do is a Superman Monopora. I have it here on our frag plug. And the question I often get is, well, how do we get this coral off the frag plug? We don't want to put this ugly plug in our aquarium. I agree completely. What you do is use like some coral cutters. These are the Rio HD coral cutters. And basically have the blade so that at a downward angle, it's pushing down to pop the frag off the disc. And it usually pops right off. Then you have the frag, you can set the disc aside. What I like to do with my encrusting corals like Monopora and Econophilia and Chalice is to mount them on a small, medium rock and then mount that into the aquarium. This makes it easier to remove if I want to frag it or trade it later on down the road. So when I want to mount this to the rock, the first thing I'm going to do is use the IC gel, put a little bit of glue on the rock. Then we take the dropper with the accelerator, just put a little drop on, set the coral right on there pretty quick. You only got 1 or 2 seconds. And there we have it on the rock, attached. Thing is, if we left it like this, as the coral and encrusting coral grows out, you see these cut marks and straight lines. It kind of grows over and leaves this straight line. It doesn't look as natural to me. So what I do is I take a little bit of putty and just roll it up in my hands, make a little snake of putty. And then I'll work little pieces of this around the frag. So let me see if I can show you what I'm doing here. Just mount it around the frag, making kind of a ramp. So this way, as the coral grows out, it'll grow over that putty and create kind of a natural shape on the rock. It's okay if you cover a little bit of the coral with the putty, it will grow over that. The main thing we're doing is just giving the coral a little ramp to grow over. So as it grows out, it looks nice and natural. I agree it looks pretty ugly right now, but we're after how it's going to be in a couple months. So if you see this grow out, it'll look very natural in a few months in the tank. Next, we're going to mount an Acropora. A couple ways to do it. We can mount them straight into the tank, but a lot of times I prefer to mount them on a small piece of live rock instead. This way, if there's a problem with the coral, I want to get it out to do a dip or something, it's a lot easier to remove it when it's on a small piece of rock. So here I have a piece of live rock. Get my Acropora frag here. Just blot the bottom dry briefly. I'm going to take some of the glue, gel glue, put it on the rock. Again, just a little drop of accelerator. Put the coral in there, twist it, and that makes it hold pretty fast. I can also take a toothpick and kind of push the glue, make sure that it makes a good solid connection between the coral and the rock. Just pushing it up against the coral a little bit kind of locks it in place so it's nice and firmly set. And there, you see it's nice and solid. So now, we can go ahead and get our hands wet, and I'll start showing you how to mount some corals in the aquarium itself. All right, here we are, one of my favorite places above the tank, ready to put more corals in. So, first we're going to take a small acro frag, and to do this, you want to blot it dry. Just take a paper towel. You don't have to dry it off completely, you just want to get most of the water off. And take your glue, put a bubble of glue around that. And then what we're going to do is just a drop of accelerator, and we'll take it straight into the water and hold it against the rock in place. We'll show you that in just a minute here. Also, for mounting larger pieces of coral, we're going to use putty. And to do that, same thing. You want to mount the coral or just blot it dry. You'll take some putty and put it on the base of the coral. Just push it into any nooks and crannies. Make sure it you have enough that you can push it into a crevice in the rock. And then you'll take this coral and push it into the tank and push it against the rock. So we'll show you that in just a second here. All right, now I have the coral with putty on it, ready to mount into the aquarium. So I've already picked out a spot. where I want to see it. This is a tabling acro, so I want to give it some space to table out. You just want to push it down in. It's okay to put a little pressure on the coral itself, and then go around with your fingers, push the putty onto the rock, make kind of a little ramp around it like we talked about. And then move your hand, create some current through the coral, and see that it is indeed firmly attached, ready to go. All right, for a single Acropora frag we just take it and press it into the tank with a mixture of accelerator and glue on it. You want to hold it in place for at least 5 or 6 seconds. And we'll see as that glue hardens that coral will stay there just fine. The sun is setting on our reef now, but we did have a chance to show you 3 ways to mount corals in the aquarium. Mounting an Acropora frag directly to the live rock using zap gel and accelerator. Mounting Acropora frag onto a rock and then using the putty to attach that into the aquarium. We showed you how to use a combination of zap gel and putty to mount a Montipora frag onto a rock so it can ramp out and grow out nicely. Hope you learned something and look forward to the next video. Thanks.